Paimon, there you are.
Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around. Did he escape or... Ah! It's...
Sure enough. You're...
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be...
I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some...
A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you... But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to fix...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start.
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us!
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean...
I take no pleasure in saying this, but...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate...
As we discussed, I don't like
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear. Don't you?
Yeah, obviously!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will...
Alright, then I'll do what we...
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond... So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more...
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't...
I understand. But sometimes, how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense long... As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there any...
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former heart. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul. Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm...
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentle.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might end.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets...
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost, unlike anywhere else. Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential.
Fine, let's call it truce. But only until this mission's...
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure?
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy, it's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh! Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred...
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing... Pick your jaws up off the floor.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he said?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now
Can you still sense where the heart of...
Yes. Permission to be...
Permission granted. Go.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so... what are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it.
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it.
Paimon's never tried this before, so Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's
Huh. Paimon's a...
everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created...
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two...
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki mode...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara...
Oh? How interesting. Those two men...
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones... Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though.
Wait, how did you know about that?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light, it looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with that.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara-Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara-Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara-Suna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara-Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished. giving rise to skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain...
You flatter me.
So you say, Escher. But is this...
My good sir...
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want... What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one...
After all, Nagamasa Why, Mr. Niwa?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take... I'm in charge here.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you...
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity. And what
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet, you're a human.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But... this makes no sense.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the
Fatui? Who?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your...
That's it? That's why you... gave a...
Look how even the righteous soul... My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. It is easier for a person to... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone...
If you give him my heart, he has nothing to prove to anyone. Because now...
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death... I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn it? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into... You know very well what that means. Even more so than...
Let's give him some space.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatara-Suna incident. So,
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. So now you have the complete picture. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma. That of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the Balladeer became the main after the events you just saw in that memory. The doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the Balladeer. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the Balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected." The mechanic answered. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the Balladeer was stunned that such an... He thought Niwa had completely betrayed.
holy moly.
Yes. Only if...
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that it won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset.
Huh?
The reason why there are records about your sister. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice No, I can't do anything like that anymore. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was... So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey!
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatara-Suna because of me deserve an—
Hey!
You know, I never did like insects, but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time—
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon,
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power. Did he keep some of his power hidden?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this is
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff, it's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, what? Paimon's... Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irmin's? Uh-oh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Andrean chili chicken! Also, what was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.